má wọrí ara yín o. Mr. Koiki ìgbà ló máa bọ́ sí Yorùbá nation yẹn. Ẹlẹ́mìí àti máa ní àgbọ̀n kankan máa. Ìbẹ́ ń gbọ́ tí nǹkan lọ ní Nàìjíríà bí àṣẹ ń jẹ yín. Ẹgbọ́n kan tí Rewane sọ and economics. Ẹ̀wọ́n tó kọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀. Solution ni pé kí gbogbo wa ká sọ fáwọn olóṣèlú wa pé Nàìjíríà yóò work fún wa. But it has to be on one voice. Kò ń ṣe páwà kan máa ní a fẹ́ lọ. Ẹ̀yin kan máa ní kí ni ìdí tẹ́ ṣe fẹ́ lọ. Ẹlòmíà tún máa béèrè pé kí ni reason. Àbí ìwọ tó wà ní Nàìjíríà, torí ìwọ tó wà ní Nàìjíríà tó máa ń béèrè pé kí ni reason tẹ́ ṣe fẹ́ lọ. Ìwọ gan ló yẹ kó máa sọ pé a fẹ́ lọ. The Pogue star Shane McGraw, best known for Christmas hit Fairy Tale of New York, dies at 65. Ilé ayé ti tán nìyẹn. Ó ti parí life nìyẹn. Kọ́lọ̀ fọ́nù kẹ́ 65. Ṣé gbọ́? Deny us Kanu mandate, we will ignite crisis. NNPP tells ECOWAS. Mo ti láìké ilé ilé ẹ̀ka fi sọ̀rọ̀. Irú àwọn kan tí mo fẹ́ lélẹ̀. Àdúrà tèmi lójoojúmọ́ ni pé in tó máa jẹ́ kó ṣe kí ni kó mọ̀ ní lo wọ́ọ̀dì kankan tí bá lórí sí ẹ̀lẹ́ máa kọ́ bọ̀ in tó máa jẹ́ kó hit lèmi máa ń fẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo tó máa jẹ́ kó hit up òun làdúrà tèmi lójoojúmọ́ sí tó kàn mí. Mr. Koiki rọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́yẹn ọ̀dà problem ti ẹni ẹ kò ń ṣe problem tèmi lọ rìpọ́ọ̀tì mi tí èèyàn bá tẹ́ lọ́rùn. Èmi kúkú kọ́ mo sọ nísìn wọ́n náà máa ignite ẹ̀wọ̀n pa àwọn náà tó gbádùn àwọn kíá ẹ̀wọ̀n pa wà là ń ṣe innocenti àwa ní àfẹ́ kí nǹkan dàrú because àwa irọ́ ti pọ̀jù fáwa we are not ready yet. Ó dáhùn pé lè ní kí n tẹ̀ ló concept as my headline. It is time to break the constitutional logjam. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so I'm going to cut it a little bit. Ẹ wá miracle. Ẹ wá ẹni tó máa gbàdúrà fún Nàìjíríà. Tó máa wá change Nàìjíríà. Ṣẹ́yìn fi ìpá àwọn olóṣèlú yẹn àdúrà lè touch heart wọn kọ́ ṣe ń táwa ń fẹ́. No, ẹ̀yin náà bèrè lọ́wọ́ ara yín. Ṣèbí gbogbo wọn lọ ní àwọn pásítọ̀ tó ń gbàdúrà fún wọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn tó ń láfà wọ́n ní babaláwo gbogbo nǹkan lọ ní máa yẹ kí wọ́n fúlẹ̀ 3-1 làwọn olóṣèlú máa ń ṣe kódà wọ́n lọ sí ìlú mi gan tó lọ ń gba agbára gan sẹ́ wọ́n lọ sí ìlú mi tó lọ ń gba agbára wá ní káwa àwa mẹ̀kúnnù àwa máa wá tò sábẹ́ wọn God of I don't want to bring any religion into the conversation. Break the constitution because ìgbà yẹn lè máa rí mú nísìn pé ó máa dàbí wà tẹ́ pé yàn hate religion kan ni èmi dẹ̀ ṣe máa ń sọ fún yín èmi ò ṣe religious bigot so mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta lèmi believe in problem ti ẹnìyẹn tí wọ́n bá believe in mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta èmi ọmọ 40 years old ìyẹn kan gbọ́dọ̀ sọ parọ́ kan fún mi níbi tí ilé ayé dé nísìn at 40+ kí yàn kan sọ fún mi pé Christianity nìkan ló máa gbéyàn dé heaven ta ló lọ 7 tó padà dé rí kíyàn kan sọ fún mi pé tó bá kí wákàtí 5 ò ní rọ́nà lọ tí bá gba ìtí ẹni náà tíyàn kan sọ pé ìṣẹ̀ṣe nìkan gan sef irọ́ náà ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ìta kan sọ ni pé ìṣẹ̀ṣe àwa la nìyẹn tradition wa nìyẹn o lè wá máa ṣe ìṣẹ̀ṣe kó máa tún kírun máa kírun tó bá ń ṣe ìṣẹ̀ṣe o àtàn rẹ̀ ìyá jẹ bótò sí ẹ lára ìwọ ọmọ táwọn church ń ṣe lábẹ́lẹ̀ a ti tan YouTube wa nísìn so ẹ̀yin tèmi àwa wà níbí o àwa lọ́bi kankan ibi tèmi takú sí ni mo wà yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni come back to Nigeria ẹlòmíà ní come back to Nigeria let us do it together ìgbà tí mo wá kí lẹ́jọ́ bá mi ṣe ìgbà tí mo wá kí lájọ ṣe tó ní kí n come back to Nigeria Ṣòwòrẹ́ wà Nigeria ẹni tó bá need any assistant tó ẹ lọ sí sọ́dọ̀ Ṣòwòrẹ́. Mr. Koiki, I personally interviewed a lot of people in Ibadan last year. They are not ready yet. Russian one of my craft, your man máa wà níbẹ̀ tí tó máa rún gbòòlà tó máa pack ara wọn bí sardine àwọn bí márùn ló máa wà ní my craft yẹn. So ẹlòmíì ìyà ò jẹ́ àwa la kàn pity wọn àwa là ń pity most of you. Ìyà ò jẹ́ púpọ̀ nù wọn ìyà ò jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá as far as I'm concerned ìyà ò tí ì jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá. So gbogbo Mr. Koiki wọ́n pa wá wọ́n ṣe kíní kan wetin concern me you're jẹ́yìn now so you're all doing very well you're all living living very good. So ìbẹ́ ń gbé ayé tó dáa. Mo kí ọ̀nà ẹ̀kásán láti United Arab Emirates. Tinubu bí wọ́n ti wà lọ́dọ̀ yín, ẹ jẹ́ lọ kí Tinubu. Ìjọba ìta ló mú kí ẹ jẹ́ lọ kí Tinubu. Tinubu wà pẹ̀lú King Charles. Àwọn méjèèjì ló wà níbí báyìí nínú picture mi lẹ́yìn YouTube mi. Ẹ̀ ń dúró káwọn ilé ìsọ̀tọ̀ fún yín. Ẹ̀yin dúró kí Prince Charles sọ fún yín pé ká pín Nàìjíríà, orí yín ò pé. Ẹ dúró pẹ́pẹ́. Ẹ fi ìpọ́n máa sọ fún yín pé go and break Nigeria. Kí ni kan Prince Charles pẹ̀lú pé kẹ́ break Nigeria? Ẹ lọ ṣe tí ní kí n ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí. Gbogbo òtútù ló wọnú ara mi lánàá. Ẹ rí pé wàhálà tá a bá ń ṣe tí bá wà níta, no be small thing. Ẹ̀lẹ́mí àkọ́rẹ̀ pé yàn jókòó sínú ilé. Òṣèlè yìí ò níṣẹ́ ni. Iṣẹ́ tí mo ṣe lánàá nísìn, iṣẹ́ 5 days mo lọ ṣe lánàá yẹn. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀, iṣẹ́ pé mo kọ̀ra jáde lánàá yẹn is like a 5-day job. So, and that's why tí bá wà nílé, we take advantage, we do what we have to do. But tá bá ti wà níta, we do what we have to do again. Wọ́n á dúró pé yàn kan máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń bọ̀ wá ràn ẹni kankan lọ́wọ́, àwa la máa ràn wa lọ́wọ́. Ẹ má yẹ kí yàn kan fún ni pé yàn kan ń bọ̀ wá ràn yàn kankan lọ́wọ́. Ẹ forget ẹ o, àṣírí mo gé fún wa o. So yes, we continue to pray and we continue to ask for peace. But èmi ò mọ̀ bí a ṣe fẹ́ rí peace nínú tí ebi ti ń pa àwọn èèyàn rẹpẹtẹ nísìn. Mo ti plead pẹ̀lú àwọn governors. Mo ti bẹ̀ wọ́n kọjọ kọ́kọ́ oúnjẹ jáde. Bí owó náà lọ fi oúnjẹ náà tó pa director yẹn ní sanlọ ló mọ̀. Inside job ní ṣáyẹn náà. Inside job ni. Director of finance tọ́nà pa yẹn. Na inside job now. Everybody knows now. Those are like inside job now. Ọkọ̀ ọ̀pá ilé lẹ́ni ìdáná ni. So ẹ máa wọrí ní pé mi má ti wà iṣẹ́ tèmi máa ṣe ó ti di bárakú má ti get used. Bàbá mi bá ní sorry you are really try but Allah give you more strength. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ó fún wa ní strength yẹn náà ni. Táwa ti ṣàárẹ̀ tí bá ti ń jí lójoojúmọ́ tí mo ní any pain lára mi àwọn báṣẹ́ lọ ni. Iṣẹ́ Yorùbá nation ṣiṣẹ́ jọ̀pọ̀n ká bá gba country náà gan ṣe kò ní sí continuity ojoojúmọ́ kọ́ là ń takùn wọn nílùú iná ẹ rò pé ìlú iná kò sí wọn ní problem ni wọ́n ní problem tó pọ̀ náà àwọn náà ń resolve problem wọn ni ojoojúmọ́ ló ń ṣe amendment ojoojúmọ́ ló ń ṣe tó máa make nǹkan easy fún gbogbo àwa tá wà ní abroad so àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yé nísìn so kò sí ibì kan pé kìíní so everywhere náà ló ní problem tiẹ̀ báwa náà ṣe ní problem níbí ìbàdàn náà ní problem nílé náà àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yé nísìn mo kí Mr. Bashir Mr. Peter Uchenna tó bá gbọ́ Yorùbá má bínú na Yorùbá people I dey talk to so in case you don't hear what I'm saying tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ gbọ́ you can sit down and listen àwọn Yorùbá gangan ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ so because Yorùbá gangan ló ń jìyà àwa là ń jìyà náà wọ́n náà wà lá di Nàìjíríà mú àbí nǹkan tó ń sọ fún akọ́ni àwa dẹ̀ là ń jìyà so kò yé mi wàá ṣeré jàre Gani Olóyèdè Akínládé bàbá mi máa ń rẹ̀ wọ́n kí wọ́n àwọn prophet wa grandma Awoniyi ṣàlàfíà lẹ́wà mà mo kí n dáadáa ń bọ̀ mo fẹ́ so tá a bá ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé things are not working in that country kí gbogbo wa ká wà lójú kan so that ká lè ṣe kí ni ká lè move motion ká move motion pé do we want to remain in Nigeria or do we want to exit but the same people that we are talking to yẹn pa laptop alienware yìí kò kúkú ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa bíi ti tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́ ó ti work ti ní ìdàbúrò àti rẹ̀ ní fún wa lówó pé Mr. Koiki kọ́tẹ̀ náà máa rà fún wa ṣé mọ̀ pé nǹkan ta fi ń bá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì fa wàhálà nìyẹn láti jọ́ ìnísìn àríṣe so tí nǹkan bá dẹ̀ ti fẹ́ máa stress ìyẹn máa gbé sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ni ìyẹn la ṣe ń lo mobile phone fi ṣe broadcast láti jọ́ ẹ̀ aṣáàdúpẹ́ fọlọ́ àwọn kúrò lójú kan so níta bá ṣe ní a ṣe máa fi ṣe program at least tẹ bá ti ń rí mi kékeré ní ìtókù so mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ máa rí ntí àwọn kan like nìyẹn orí olókun yẹn àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì náà wọ́n like orí olókun crime á ṣe máa lọ sókè gan. Crime ò lè tán ní Nàìjíríà. Èèyàn kan ní good to see you Mr. Koiki. Ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé wa ni ẹ rí wa rí. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò sá. Mr. Perry. And how are you doing? Òtútù ti dé gan. Wàláì. Mo bọ́ta láàárọ̀ yìí. Everywhere cold ni. Everywhere cold. Èmi ò fẹ́ kí èèyàn kan kí mi o. Kákọ̀ kíra wa pé Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí a tètè gbọ́. That's all. You know, Mr. Koiki kú iṣẹ́ ẹ̀ka ké Elédùmarè. Tèmi ò bá ṣe Ọlọ́run àtún gbéyàn tó dájú èmi lágbè dìde. Wàláì tàlá ìsúnmọ́ bí láì làzílà hùwà. Ọlọ́run àgbẹ̀ lómi dìde. So it's just that it is what it is. Èbé mi tẹ̀ ní time ni. Ẹlòmíràn gbogbo àwọn mídíà mi ò lè ṣe tèmi ṣe because wọ́n ní láti lọ síbi iṣẹ́. Self-employed lèmi. Self-employed. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ ń ṣe self-employed òun gan lẹ́yìn kó lọ máa wá bó ṣe máa rí owó tó pọ̀. Ó dà pé púpọ̀ ní yóò mọ̀. Ẹni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ self-employed bí èmi ṣe ń ṣe yìí. Because mo ní paycheck every month. Àbẹ̀rẹ̀ pé mo ní paycheck ni. Mo ní paycheck. I don't have a paycheck. Mo lè wà nílùú tó ní opportunity. So ta ló bá wà ní ìgboro kó máa lọ wá bó ṣe fi make owó. Ìtẹ́ kẹ́yìn máa rò nìyẹn. But sometimes you have to sacrifice for something. And we appreciate as many of our viewers around the world. Mr. Koiki lẹ́ǹkankan ìgbà níbẹ̀. Àwọn kan nísìnyí wọn ẹlòmíì mọ paycheck ẹ̀ náà. Ẹlòmíì ní target ìgbà tí wọ́n kọ́ dé ní 1998. Mo mọ target tí mò ń lé every month. Pé iye báyìí ló gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé fún mi every month. Àwọn sisters mi family friend wa kan tí mo náṣẹ́ dé on the COS ṣé COS ló ń pe kíní yẹn COS. You know, I'm just gonna be dabbling more ní topic, so I'm just gonna be dabbling around. So, you know, if it's mind me bá lọ ní máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí. It's gonna cost them £1,900 every month. Owó lé má ṣì lọ sí Nàìjíríà torí Nàìjíríà kọ́ ló ti ń pa owó yẹn. Ibà ló ti ń pa owó. Mo kí àwa Bọ́sẹ̀dé. So má ṣe owó yẹn lọ sí Nàìjíríà. Ìtorí Nàìjíríà kọ́ ló ti ń pa owó yẹn. Ibà ló ti ń pa owó yẹn. So, you know, má gbowó yẹn lọ sí Nàìjíríà. Ẹlòmíì ní sáà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí multiply 1,400 by 1,009. But that shows the kind of country that we are living. It's expensive. London expensive gan. Jẹ́ntẹ̀ gbé lọ sí náírà. Èló ló bọ́ sí láàárọ̀ yìí. Calculator mi dà. But bíbá lọ ti ń paṣú yẹn. So ẹni tó ń pawó ní bíbá o lè sọ fún pé owó ilé yẹn wọ́n tó bá wọ́n kó lọ sí outside London kó lọ máa gbé ní outside London ní Manchester. Wọ́n ní in Asaba, DSP was killed by fake EFCC in his house when they realized he's an officer. So 1,900 láàárọ̀ yìí nísìn pound sterling ni o times ó yà pé 1,004 lówó mo kíyà mi. You know, my mom might still be sleeping because she sleep very late. Kàṣẹ sọ pé 1,004. Ọmọ ẹ̀dínyàn kan san lówó lé ní London ní South East lọ́wọ́ àbọ̀mọ̀ ní sọ́fítọ́ wà ní South East. Ẹ lè dá wọn mọ̀ anyway tẹ́ bá rí wọn mọ̀ wọn anyway so. 2.6 million lówó lé ní London every month. But it's because of the economy. Nínú ẹ̀ wọ́n make owó yẹn if they know what they are doing. So, and these are people that will not have access to any benefit. Because tó bá wá sí ìlú yìí on that kind of scheme, o lè apply for benefit kankan. Èmi gan tí mo wà ń lò gan fún mi benefit, à ń bọ̀ sí bọ́ sí ìwọ tó ṣe dé. Àfẹn tó bá ní indefinite stay, àbí tó bá ní British passport, ló lè o lè get away with but ìwọ tó bá pé wọ́n ní you don't have a right to public recourse, o ṣẹ̀dé láti Nàìjíríà, o wá fẹ́ máa lọ dọ́gbọ́n sí. Tó bá ti gbé ẹ, o wá ṣẹ̀wọ̀n ni. Jésù kankan ní gbẹ̀lẹ̀, ànábì kankan ní gbẹ̀lẹ̀. Tó bá ti ṣe crime nílùú o máa lọ ṣẹ̀wọ̀n ni. O máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n ni kò sí àní-àní níbẹ̀. O mọ iye àdúrà tó máa ti ṣe fún kékeré màdó, o mọ iye ẹran tó máa pa, o mọ iye gbogbo tó máa ṣe. Ọbásanjọ́ gan bá bẹ̀bẹ̀ wọ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ Ọbásanjọ́ lóhùn. Ó ń ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lọ́wọ́ nísìnyí. Kódà ó bẹ́tà ju wọ́n tó wà Nàìjíríà lọ́mọ ìṣeré. Èèyàn kan gbàdúrà pé kọ́lọ́ kí wọ́n lọ ṣẹ̀wọ̀n ni. Ẹni tó wà ní Nàìjíríà presently by mo sọ gbogbo yín o kódà bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí àwọn kan ṣoríire dáadáa tẹ́ pé you know big boys ni wọ́n big girls they do very well. They are not into crime. But the basic ọmọ Nàìjíríà lẹ́nìí òun ṣe pé mo fi ń dẹnu tó bá wà ní UK prison o better off. I know it's not the kind of something tó yẹ kíyàn fi juggle together but that is a fact. because UK prison ó máa jẹun ẹ̀mẹ́ta lójúmọ́, ó máa jẹ fruit, ó máa ṣe exercise, ó máa wà nínú warmth, ọmọ tó ń pè ní warmth, wàá ṣe ọkọ ya Fọláyàn, ọmọ tó ń pè ní warmth, tó tutù ṣe mú báyìí nísìn ìkékeré máa dùn gbọdọ̀ wà nínú ibi tó máa warm, òtútù ò gbọdọ̀ mú. Kódà ó tún lọ opportunity láti kàwé nínú prison free, ó ní opportunity láti ṣe training so that because prison is meant to reform. Prison ò ń ṣe pé wọ́n kóyàn lọ sínú prison pé ó máa wà níbẹ̀ grandma comfort inú máa ní free wifi mo mọ̀ kẹ́ wà lórí ètò grandma tó ní mo dẹ̀ ti gbọ́ tí grandma bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ní last 2 weeks, mo dẹ̀ ti mọ́rọ̀ wọn sọ ìkọ́ra àwọn gbọ́dọ̀ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ká má gbọ́, wọ́n ti ní Koiki wọ́n ṣáà máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn tó kó nǹkan kéékèèké tó máa ń sọ yẹn ìwọ má máa tún sọ yẹn mọ́, ṣí wa létí, bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, join it together. Àwọn gbádùn program ẹ̀ tó ló yàtọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni journalist ni mí, ọmọ náà pè journalist ni grandma ní ẹ máa ní free wifi. So the question is, kò ń ṣe pé a pray fún ẹ̀wọ̀n fún ẹ̀yìn kankan, èmi náà pray pé kíyàn lọ sẹ́wọ̀n, but tíyàn bá lo ẹ̀wọ̀n tó bá yẹ pé nǹkan tó ṣe ó máa reform ẹni, but tó bá yẹ pé ó pààyàn ò ní jáde lẹ́wọ̀n yẹn o. Kí ni ìyá mi grandma Grace Olúṣòtò kọ grandma làwọn náà, ẹ kí n máa tẹ̀ ní grandma ni ìdí máa kàn ń la orúkọ mọ́ pé ìyá wa Grace Olúṣòtò grandma lẹ́yìn náà náà mo ṣáà rí ìyá yẹn wá sí Nàìjíríà àjọ káàkiri nìbàdàn, mo ní grandma, mo ní ibẹ̀ ní ọmọ yín ṣe bímọ ni kẹ́ máa tọ́jú ọ̀ní Koiki má bẹ́ẹ̀ já ọ, ṣé kẹ́yìn wá máa lọ sí rálì kébì máa jókòó sílé, wàhálà ìyá yẹn dẹ̀ máa kó sí ṣòkòtò, wọ́n gbé grandchildren sílẹ̀ nìbàdàn àjọ káàkiri. Mo ń sọ fún ìyàwó mi lánàá, mo ní sọ details ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn because it's not for àwọn sọ̀rọ̀ kan, mo ń sọ fún ìyàwó mi pé àwọn èèyàn mọ wàhálà táwọn boys mi ń ṣe ní Nàìjíríà, wàláì tàláì sí wọ́n Nàìjíríà ló lè rányàn níṣẹ́, accident kan lè ṣẹlẹ̀ tó lè pàdánù. I get scared every now and then because of the motorway in Nigeria. Títì yàn dá rárá, títì bá da mọ́tò tó wà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ kò ní break. Ní Kwara ó dà kí mo rí news yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo ń bọ̀, mo kàn float ní ní topic o, so ó better than pé kí sáà máa wà live so kí n jọ kó fi relax ni because àná yẹn òtútù tó mú mi lánàá yẹn kò ṣe, even though pé mo wọ tamawẹ̀ mo gbé jacket mo dira bí baba sùwé ni pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ìtánì òtútù máa ó máa rí bì kan penetrate atẹ́gùn ni a rí bì kan tó máa kọ́lọ́kọ́lọ́ tó máa wò tó bíbà tí kìíní wọnú bọ́dì ni. ẹ̀yin tẹ́wà lórí Koiki Media Odùduwà mo ní láti lọ gbé laptop mi wá because iPad yìí kò strong ó máa kú, so máa lọ sókè lọ gbé another system wa. ẹ jẹ́ n wo bó mo ti rí news yẹn Kwara State, ẹ jẹ́ n padà sí Punch. There was an accident that led to about 25 lele Nigeria ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ń lé Ọlọ́run ló ń fi iṣẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ yín wallahi. Mr. Koiki, Nigeria road itself is not to talk about. Olele ni mo ka yìí wà wájú mi lẹ́ni ni mo sọ yìí Channels Television, I mean website one. 25 people killed in Kwara Inferno as tanker truck crash. Mo ti ń gbé nílùú yìí for 25 years. Mo máa ń jẹ́ kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà ń lé mọ̀ pé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ń bẹ nílùú yìí náà ó dẹ́rù bàyàn. So èmi ò fẹ́ fún yín ní impression mo kí ẹ Qualitech my brother irú àwọn ẹni sìn technology ló yẹ kó máa fi sọ pé tanker tó ń fẹ́ jáde I'm sure he's into tech because into fin lo tech yẹn irú àwọn yẹn lè fi technology send the signal sínú tanker yẹn tó máa lọ́kẹ̀ ìlú yìí ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn truck ńláńlá tó ń drive yẹn ẹ jẹ́ n ṣàlàyé nǹkan fún yín technology ti lọ́gán Nigerians wake up Ọlọ́run tí driver yẹn bá drive kọjá hours ẹ ṣe gan ìyá mi Comfort Ológunjà wọ́n ti ju nǹkan kan wọlé wọ́n ní God help us we will not experience prison láṣẹ ìdìbò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni it's not something I pray for I don't pray for anybody mo kàn ń sọ pé the Nigeria prison òun nínú Nigeria but UK prison is like ẹni tó ń gbé normal life ní Nigeria ìyàtọ̀ kan ni pé prison is just going to take away your right night out o máa lọ sùn good morning o máa jí kò dẹ̀ sí pé mo fẹ́ lọ kí grandma mo ń lọ ra bread inú prison yẹn ló máa wà tó máa fi parí sentence ẹ̀ ìyàtọ̀ tó wà níbẹ̀ nìyẹn but ní Nàìjíríà is a different thing entirely. ìbéèrè tí ó yẹ ká béèrè ni pé in 25 years tèmi ti gbé ìlú yìí o ṣé mo gbọ́ pé tanker farm kan jóná àbí petrol mo rò pé mo gbọ́ rí tanker tó ohun àwọn náà ṣe máa move epo kó tó wá dispense epo petrol station wà ládùúgbò mi wọ́n máa wá ń dispense epo but mo ò ever gbọ́ rí pé tanker kan ṣubú ó wá explode. Tanker milk ti ṣubú rí o àwọn kan but tanker epo where do we start from? ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní ká fix Nàìjíríà à ń bí láàárọ̀ yìí níbo ni ká ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ibo ni gangan ni ká ti mú ok a fẹ́ fix Nàìjíríà ẹ wá sọ fún mi ibo la máa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ok lówó táwọn politicians yẹn ní láti compete pẹ̀lú wọn èmi mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ń lúro owó yẹn o because irú gbogbo wa báyìí nísìn tẹ́ bá ní ó da Koiki ìwọ náà tẹ́ wá jáde mo dẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé tẹ́ bá rí mi nínú politics Nàìjíríà ọmọ èmi náà lọ jẹ tèmi ni o kàríkà chop ni o a jẹ tiẹ̀ wá kúrò ń bẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ lábẹ́ Buhari nísìn àwọn ẹran tí bọ̀bọ̀ photographer yẹn àwọn yẹn wọ́n ti wà okay government African country government wọn ló corrupt ju ò ní account mo ka story kan lọ́dọ̀ Fisayo good gan gbogbo ilẹ̀ mọ̀ Fisayo ta ló mọ̀ Fisayo is a journalist as well very very good guy ó good gan ni tí bá níyàn good ó good ni ẹni tó bá good yẹn ó gbé story kan jáde ní last week báwo lẹni tó ní restaurant ní Nàìjíríà l'Abuja òun lọ wá gbé contract lọ fix school lọ fix kinní kan lábẹ́ Buhari wọ́n kàn award the contract fúnra wọn ni. Now tẹ́yìn bá wá ní Mr. Koiki àwa náà lè beat wọn number one ṣé a nírú owó yẹn ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ tán ní Fáyọ̀ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí nínú news tí mò ń kà òun àtọ́ba ní kòrò ní 2014 wọ́n transport 1.2 billion naira lọ sékìtì láti fi ṣe election ẹ rántí ibo ni Dasuki wà Sambo crime ti pọ̀ jù mélòó la fi rántí níbo ni Dasuki wà ẹ rántí Dasuki gate ẹ rántí yẹn mọ̀ náà because àtúntò ń sọ̀rọ̀ Buhari ṣe ilé tí ń sọ pé dáadáa mo charge ẹ jẹ́ n sáré fi sínú náà nígbà tí mo sínú Nàìjíríà ẹ jẹ́ n sáré máa charge ẹ ibo ni Dasuki wà Dasuki gate how many of us remember Dasuki gate wọ́n ti jẹ Nàìjíríà pa Nàìjíríà dẹ́ ní Koiki fi wá sílẹ̀ ṣebí wọ́n kọ́ ló ń jẹ ìwọ ṣáwà London ṣáà nìwọ wà wàhálà ẹ̀ ṣe wá pọ̀ báyìí intanet sọ fún mi nìyẹn o ẹni wàhálà mi ṣe wá pọ̀ báyìí ní kébù mi wà kọ́sìkò tẹ́lẹ̀ pé èèyàn máa kú ṣé à ń rí Prince Charles àti Jagaban ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube Koiki Media Prince Charles náà wà ní Dubai òun like climate kìíní ọba wa níbí báyìí ni o èmi adé máa ní God bless the king ní tó bá wọn ní kí wọ́n sọ ibà ilé mi gbé so ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ta wà níbí àmọ́ ní láti ìwọ lè bu èmi ò láǹfààní àti lè bọ́ ọba àwọn bọ́ba níbí báyìí o so ìwọ tó ń gbé níbí báyìí má ní Koiki kí ló dé tó wá ń kí ọba yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àwọn kí ibà ilé mi gbé mo dẹ̀ ní freedom ọba ilé ló jẹ́ kí n ní freedom because ọba wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún ọba ni àwọn olóṣèlú tí wọ́n ń bíbà so mo ti ń charge kámẹ́rà yìí máa tàn padà nísìnyí mo ní mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe sí lẹ́ǹkan mo tó tún gbàgbé mo kí lẹ́ǹkan sí i ọba níkòrò is talking under thief ok kámẹ́rà ti padà báyìí àbúrò mo yẹ nísìnyí yan wa so ní tí mo kàn fẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí Kwara State again 25 people were killed nítorí tanker crash. The petrol tanker was traveling from Niger State. Used the wrong side of the road. Mo kí bàbá Ibrahim Shitu. Wọ́n ní petrol tanker yẹn, which is very common in Nigeria. Èmi náà àti ìṣerú ẹ̀rí is not something that is good. You know, you drive through the opposite road. It's very, very risky. Very, very risky. Mo ti wà ní mọ́tò tọ́tí I will be stupid not to say that pé torí mo fẹ́ máa pọ́nra mi lé mo ti wà ní mọ́tò tọ́tí drive against the opposite tribe I asked them pé it's wrong but gbogbo àtọ̀ sọ fún mi pé a lè wà ní traffic yẹn ìyẹn mo ṣe máa ń like ọ̀kadà lè lọ káàkiri ó lè now ẹ̀hún 25 nísìn ẹ̀mí ti lọ lára wọn báyìí. 25 persons lost their lives while about 15 others sustained varying degrees of injury in a fire disaster at Bode Sadu, Imoro local government area of Kwara State. It was gathered that the fire incident occurred when a petrol tanker with registration number JJN17XW, heavy-duty truck, and an 18-seater bus collide at about 3:18 p.m. on Wednesday at Peke village along Oke Olowo Bode Sadu Expressway in Moro local government. You can imagine. Number one, why should a tanker drive in that opposite direction? Heavy load. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So we can just say, God help us, and we're going to help ourselves. So now, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ ka story àwọn NNPC àbí NNPP dẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ lọ wá full story ẹ jáde. The leadership of the New Nigerian People's Party has said that denying the party its mandate in Kano State would lead to a crisis that would extend beyond Nigeria to other African countries. Should we be concerned with such statement? Should we be concerned? Let's read further. And I can tell you that this is a story that has been published on Daily Trust. Daily Trust says, denying us Kano mandate will ignite crisis. Good morning, every one of you that have joined us. Press readers are denying us Kano mandate will ignite crisis. So please, Emma because I know court. Yawa Margaret Ibijoke Ekaro Grammar. Why Nigerian politician goes abroad to join others that are working tirelessly for peace and prosperity of their countries? Well, I believe these elites are very heartless. Punch is up with NNPP petition EU and ECOWAS. I'm a waste time around petition EU at ECOWAS. Ṣé mọ̀ pé EU tá à ń sọ yìí ẹ jẹ́ n ṣàlàyé EU yẹn fún yín ká tó move away from there. Kí ló ń pè ní EU? Tá bá ní EU nísìn tí bá sọ pé EU, I say EU. What does it mean? How many people knows the meaning of EU? Ẹ má parọ́. Okay, let me put it this way. If you know the meaning of EU, ẹ sọ pé yes. If you don't know, just say no. Mo kàn fi láì dé à. Look, this is a platform that you can educate yourself. And take it to the bank. I won't be able to say. How many people knows the meaning of EU? Yes, I know. No, Mr. Koike Miyomo. Mo command Bonnie. Okay? Some people are saying yes. In your African Union. Wow. Moki grammar, Dukwa Bola. So in your company lower the broadcast. So kila wan ṣe program fún bí a kin koko pa. If guys, respond now. Ebe wo mi tí bá pa nísìn ẹ̀kúkú ní wò mí mọ́ èmi á dẹ̀ máa lọ ṣe tí mo fẹ́ ṣe. How many people knows the meaning of EU? Okay. Gani Olóyèdé látijọ́ ètò tí wà lórí program mi. That's not good of you. What wà lórí program mi ti pẹ́ now? Only no, I don't know. Okay. Yes. Okay. So people are responding. Okay. Èmi ò mọ̀ Ibrahim Shitunu. Look, I'm not here to bá sọ pé ó mọ̀. Àkókò náà yín lẹ́gba. We are not going to beat you. Thank you so much, Supreme. Ukwa. Ìyẹn mo mọ̀ bí ó jẹ́ gbọ́ Yorùbá gan sẹ́ because that name doesn't sound a Yoruba name. But it seems you understand what I'm saying. You're calling, yes, I know. Okay. Easy Moke, Yawa Comfort. Okay, so it's European Union. So bí a tó bá yẹ kó mo sọ pé European Union, many of you will know. All right, now. Charity, our politicians were tó bá ní is European Union. It's just the the short abbreviation is called EU. So most of the time, the bank paper Nigeria tó bá ń sọ pé EU. And rántí pé during the election, only the EU observer were in Nigeria. What they are saying is that 27 member states ló make up in tá à ń pè ní European Union, which is called EU. 27 member states. Kí ló ń pè ní state? State is a place where àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀. Nigeria as it is right now is not a nation. But this state, tá à ń sọ àwọn member state yìí, èdè kan náà lọ́jọ́ ń sọ, ìwà kan náà lọ́jọ́ ń wù. Each of the state ni mo sọ yìí. But what they've now done is they've come together as one block because ìyẹn ló lè jẹ́ kó ní agbára. Just like bí Nigeria náà ṣe wà lábẹ́ ìtànpé ní AU, ìyẹn ní African Union. Now, tí ẹ ṣe gan-an gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ bá wa dá sí, thanks so much, we love you, we appreciate you, because just, ṣọlá ká máa ń rò pé ghost là ń bára wa sọ níbí báyìí. Ẹ bá mi jù síta, ok, jẹ́ n jù síta fúnra mi, because tí easy bá ti ń béèrè pé òun nídìí kankan, màmá ẹ̀ kó pẹ́ kó má lọ gbàgbé, ẹ̀wọ̀n kó ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú lè mi mo dẹ̀ láìkó owó gan. So, now, táwọn Nigerians bá wá ń sọ pé a máa report Nigeria fún EU. What they are saying is that a fẹ́ report Nigeria fún 27 members to represent the European Union. Ìbéèrè tó yẹ ká wá máa bi these Nigerians politicians is that Kanu fúnra rẹ̀ Kanu a lè yọ kí má exaggerate too much, because I don't know the landmark and the people, but ẹ mọ̀ ká lè yọ ìlú mẹ́ta tó jẹ́ member EU kúrò nínú Kano. Ìlú mẹ́ta ni mo sọ, country mẹ́ta tó abàdẹ̀ kó yàn sínú ẹ̀ wàá dẹ̀ máa ṣèjọba tiwọn nínú Kano yẹn. A lè yọ mẹ́ta tó jẹ́ ọmọ member state European countries, and I can give you names and the figures. Okay, give and take. Kí ni population Kano? Mo fẹ́ sẹ́ndì kankan sí easy ní ọkọ̀ tó ń ti ń béèrè yẹn nísìnyí kí tó lọ gbàgbé àpá àwọn Ìjẹ̀bú Òde àwọn ọmọ Ògùn state à ń fowó ṣeré o. So bá dẹ̀ ti ní mo fẹ́ fi hàn ní kankan má jẹ́ kí n lọ gbàgbé jẹ́ n sáré sẹ́ndẹ̀. Màá wá lọ kí ni population Kano? Ta ló láì díẹ̀ a lè google ẹ̀. Population Kano láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. So Kano politician wá sọ pé òun máa lọ report Nàìjíríà. Ṣebí the other way around lẹ kó jẹ́ ó jẹ́ kí àwọn EU máa wá report ara wọn fún Nàìjíríà tó bá yẹ pé Nàìjíríà jẹ́ ìlú tó dúró dáadáa, tó operate in a way that ó respect the rule of law, ó ní trillions of dollars tó jẹ́ backup money, àwa tá wà nínú ẹ̀ à ń gbádùn, a ní passport yẹ pé tá bá lẹ̀ anywhere báyìí wà ní ó yá pass through ọmọ Nàìjíríà ló ń lọ yẹn. But because Nàìjíríà ò ní value system yẹn là ń sọ, because kò ní ẹ má bínú mi tó ń pè ní bíbá. Let's come out first. Hello? Hello? I'm not buying and I'm not selling. Thanks so much. Àwọn new source call ni. I'm not buying anything. Bó ṣe máa ń ṣe ni àwọn pọ̀ nílùú yìí náà bẹ́ẹ̀. Random calls. Àwọn náà máa ń get it. New source call wà nílùú yìí o. Sometimes they don't know who they are calling. Ẹni tó ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn mo lè confirm fún yín pé Indian ló ti ń pè mí. Kò sí nílùú yìí o. But ti route technology ti lọ́gàn. They are nuisance call. Tí bá lọ wo number yìí nísìn is a nuisance call. Hello? Kí ni ó dẹ̀ fi ta? Ó lè fi ta energy fún mi. Ó fi ta ọ̀pọ̀ nílùú yìí náà. Ọlọ́run kò ṣàánú. Ibo la sọ̀rọ̀ délé nǹkan. Now, Kano. A ní a fẹ́ wo population Kano. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo kí ni population Kano láàárọ̀ yìí. Population. Ó lè má right. A mọ̀ pé what infiltrated. Kano, according to the current metro area population of Kano as of 2023 is 4.3 million. Mo sì dúró lórí pé ẹ lè yọ ìlú mẹ́ta nínú ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ member European Union. Let's see if maybe we can be right or not. So, màá fi sínú Google the smallest, no, not country in the world, the smallest country in EU. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wò. Èèyàn mélòó ló mọ̀ ìlú kan tó ń pè ní Malta? Ta ló mọ̀ ìlú tó ń pè ní Malta? Ta ló ti gbọ́ Malta? A ti gbọ́ Malta. Okay, tá bá ti gbọ́ no problem. European Union covers over 4 million kilometers. Thanks so much, TK Makeover. It has 448.4 million inhabitants. So taba joining gbogbo European countries together, they are about 448 million. That means Nigeria is half of that. You can see why we are saying that, oh, ìyá mi abọ́sẹ̀ de grammar, when I was there this year, ìyá ìmá gbádùn gan, ta ló máa ṣiṣẹ́ tó ní lọ gbádùn. Ọ̀nà jẹ́ kí èmi náà ní time láti máa káàkiri bẹ́ẹ̀. Thanks so much. Now, the whole population European countries, my list gbogbo ẹ̀ fún yín láàárọ̀ yìí again. Wọ́n sọ fún mi according to Google pé is about 448.4 million. Just reason Mokembe. Only Malta is just an island close to Spain. Okay, Yami Margaret Ibijoke no. When I was there in 1989. Okay. Wow. Hey, yeah, it travel now. Be mom city no ni. Okay, gbọ́ mi triple DRS. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí Woolish Mokin. Ǹjẹ́ wá mọ̀ pé nínú 448 tàbá ká tẹ̀ sọ pé 400 million give and take ká yọ 48 orí ẹ̀ kúrò. Tell me, that is half of Nigeria. How many people knows that? So why then are we forcing ourselves into a union where we can still break away and we can decide that our Yoruba àti àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù àtúwá lọ ṣe tán pè ní block of another union. Àwa jọ wà nínú ẹ̀. Even Yoruba can still be part of the African Union. Àwọn ọmọ Yoruba sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ yẹn o. And this is where we are having issues with ourselves. Gbọ́dọ̀ wa yé dáadáa. Because ẹlòmíì ò ní understanding pé Kano wa lọ report rẹ̀. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo the smallest country tó wà níbẹ̀. What are the three largest countries in Europe and what are the smallest? Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo. According to the report here, which I want to say, what are the 5 smallest countries in Europe? Okay. According to the report, the Vatican is a big little winner. Then comes Monaco, San Marino, Liechtenstein, finally Andorra. Then we want to find out, maybe we can find the numbers around it as well. So what I'm going to do now is, Malawa one Vatican, Vatican. Vatican. We are learning this morning. It's all about learning. So that kí wọ́n náà wá máa gbé yẹ̀wò pé àwọn ìlú kéékèèké tẹ̀ ń dárúkọ yìí ṣé ìlú náà làwọn ilé ìlú ni wọ́n. Vatican population is 829,000. Ẹ yọ kúrò nínú 4 million ti àwọn Kano. Ó di mélòó? A ṣì ní 3 million. Okay? Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ sí the next country. Monaco, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo Monaco yẹn àwọn olówó ló ń gbé níbẹ̀. Àwọn bí Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá nílé níbẹ̀. DJ Copy máa ń lọ síbẹ̀ dáadáa. Olówó ó lè gbé ní Monaco tó bá lówó. Mo wá lè sọ bí àwọn díẹ̀díẹ̀ o. Monaco lẹ́ni, Monaco officially gbogbo population àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ pọ̀ rárá. Gbogbo population wọn is 36 million. So that means pé ẹ mọ̀ pé a ní leftover fún àwọn tá bá ń follow mathematics tí mo ń ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí. 1 million la ṣì yọ kúrò nínú Kano. So mo ti add the Vatican. Ìyá mi confirm ni a lè break Nigeria into 13 countries. Now, nínú 1 million tá yọ mo kí bàbá wa kí máa yọ délé. Nínú 1 million tá yọ nínú Kano, a ṣì yọ ìlú wo la kọ́kọ́ dárúkọ Vatican. A tún yọ Monaco. A ṣì ní leftover díẹ̀ nínú 1 million yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ wo the next country. Wọ́n pẹ̀lú kan ní San Marino. Ìwọ tún nìyẹn mi náà máa gbọ́ yẹn rí kẹ́. Ìlú wo ni San Marino? San Marino is a mountainous microstate surrounded by north central Italy. Among the world's oldest republic, it retained much of its historical architecture. On the slopes of Monte Titano sits the capital, also called San Marino, known for its medieval wall, old town, and narrow cobblestone street. Gbogbo population 33,000. Now, a ti rí ìlú mẹ́rin báyìí. Ṣé mo right? Ká tó gbé ìrora wọn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàbá mi Yusuf wọ́n ní San Marino is an Europe. Òun náà là ń kà nísìnyí. Wọ́n náà close to Italy. Ẹ ṣe gan ni àwọn tó mọ̀ bẹ̀ dáadáa ni àwọn sisters wà pọ̀ ní Italy. India is the country is more populated than the whole of Africa. Ẹ má ti gbé wa trabayé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró lórí European country. Ẹ má ti mú Indian wá nísìn. the whole of UK which consists of 4 countries is not up to 80 million. Àní ká tẹ̀sí dúró lórí EU. UK ò sí lára EU mọ́, àwa ti sá lọ kúrò lára wọn. Now a ti yọ ìlú mẹ́ta àìdẹ̀ tí lo 1 million wá tán. Ṣé ń follow ní tí mo sọ àbí kí n rewind ẹ̀? Kano gbogbo population was 4 million. A ti wá yọ ìlú mẹ́ta. Kano wá report rẹ̀ fún European Union. Ṣé rí pé kò make sense? Kano tó jẹ́ pé òun fúnra rẹ̀ ó yẹ kó máa control ìlú mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tí mo dárúkọ yìí nísìn. Ó wá náà ló ń report rẹ̀ fún. That means pé Kano report rẹ̀ fún ká tẹ̀ sọ pé Vatican ìyẹn ní ó ní kìmí díẹ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó máa gbọ́ Vatican láàárọ̀ yìí ibi tí Pope wà ìlú ọba ká tẹ̀ yọ Vatican kúrò. Èwo tún ni Kano tó ń report rẹ̀ fún Monaco because that is what is happening. But the only thing tó tá kò máa ń gbọ́ ni pé Kano is reporting Nigeria to European Union because what is the block? But àwa wá break it down to pieces. A fẹ́ mọ ìlú wo gan ló wà lábẹ́ European Union tó kéré jù. That means pé Kano report rẹ̀ fún Monaco. Monaco is 36,000. I'm sure pé local government kan máa wà ní Kano tó máa ju 36,000 lọ. Ṣẹ́yìn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ṣe ń follow. Show make sense. Tó bá make sense ẹ lè ní Koiki shut up. O níṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ ṣe láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ sọ̀kan míì. Ṣe rí reason tá a ṣe ń sọ pé Kano report rẹ̀ fún Moke Sonke. Kano is reporting herself for the children. Nǹkan tí Sonke sọ nìyẹn. Kano is reporting herself. Ó ń report rẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ ẹ̀. Because Kano fúnra rẹ̀ bá ṣe gbọ́ nínú ìtàn whether we like it or not àwọn náà ní owó. Because we did a groundnut pyramid nígbà yẹn. So Kano wá ní ẹ sọ fún Tinubu o kó má jẹ́ ká ignite Kano tó tún máa dé African country. Ṣé yẹ kí Kano máa report rẹ̀ fún Malta àtẹ̀tíde Malta? Ṣé yẹ kí Kano máa report rẹ̀ fún San Marino gbogbo population wọn láàárọ̀ yìí is 33,745. Passport wọn European passport ló ń lò because member EU ni wọ́n. That means pé wọ́n ní right láti move around European country títí dé UK tí kò sí lára wọn ìwà wọn mọ́. Okay, Mr. Shawnee, which means we don't know our worth. I mean, how can Kano look ṣọmọ Hausa but ó yẹ kí Kano náà máa ṣe pé ọba làwọn náà fúnra wọn níbi táwọn wà níbi ìjókòó àwọn. Ó jẹ́ kí àwọn San Marino ìyẹn ló ṣe sọ fún wa nígbà kan nínú ìtàn pé Nàìjíríà yá Dubai lówó. Ó possible because as at that time àmọ́ ta fẹ́ fowó ṣe owó yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. A wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wo owó yẹn pé kí la máa fi ṣe. Ó dẹjà ṣe Festac 77 ká kó gbogbo Africa wá ká ta gbogbo heritage wa kí ló tún kù ẹja yá Dubai lówó ẹja we were literally borrowing money. Kódà bá ṣe gbọ́ nínú ìtàn wọ́n ní during regional government Yorùbá àwọn bàbá wo lọ́wọ́ wọ́n yá ìjọba lówó. Àwa ṣe ń sọ pé ebi ń pa wá láàárọ̀ yìí ìyà ń jẹ wá àríṣe àrímú ṣe rí pé kò make sense. Kí ló ń fà àwọn kan ní leadership problem ni. And okay if it's a leadership problem ǹjẹ́ màá tiẹ̀ lè contest ká lè lọ change the solution yẹn. Ọmọ tèmi bá ti bá ń contest ẹ lé mi olè ní mí mo fi lọ jẹ tèmi níbẹ̀ ni mo ti rí logo ìyá mi ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Tẹ bá rí Koiki pé ó tún gbé gba afẹ́ lọ dìbò ọmọ ẹ mú mi dáadáa pé olè níwọ náà ó fi lọ jẹ tẹ níbẹ̀ ni. Chop and chop òun ni Nigerian government chop and chop òun ni everybody. Àwọn kan lè wà lóyà páwọn ní chop but àwọn tó wà lábẹ́ wọn wọ́n máa sọ wọ́n di pé kọ́ chop. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹ yín ṣé mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣe gbogbo bá ṣe máa ń sọ pé olè ní gbogbo politician to be honest kò ń ṣe gbogbo wọn ló lè ẹ mọ̀ àkọ́ one bad apple kí ni òyìnbó sọ ẹ bá ń parí ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ okay ìyá mi grandma tún rán mi létí ìyá wa comfort pé Western region gave UK money which is true because a ti ṣe nínú program wa rí. Now eléyìí ò ń ṣe pé à ń bá ajá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì jà à ń bínú sí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì àlàyé la kàn ń ṣe fúnra wa. Mo ní Kano la ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ láàárọ̀ kí ló dé ta ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ Kano in case tẹ́ bá ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Kano náà fẹ́ rìpọ́tì Nàìjíríà fún European Union. Èmi wá ní àwọn wo ló wà ní European Union. Àkọ́kọ́ ti béèrè pé èèyàn mélòó ló mọ European Union. I realize pé àwọn kan mọ̀ àwọn kan mọ̀ tó bá ń gbọ́ EU stand for European Union. Lábẹ́ EU yẹn kó tó lè di odindi 27 states 27 nations tí wọ́n ń sọ èdè ní èdè ìlú wọn but tó bá wà nínú parliament wọn ṣe mọ̀ pé wọ́n máa ń gbé gbágbágbá sótí báyìí kí ló rò pé ṣe ń gbé kan sétí because wọ́n ò gbọ́ èdè ara wọn ò tí gbọ́ mi ó mọ̀ pé tó bá lọ ń wo tó bá wà ní ibi tí kò ń ṣe okay o lè tiri náà ní United Nations torí gbogbo kí ni tó máa ń gbé sétí yẹn it just shows that the whole world gbọ́ èdè ara wa bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní a gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ èdè ara wa wọ́n wá fún wa ní English so English yẹn gan àwọn kan máa ń sọ broken English àwọn kan máa ń sọ òkìrìkà English Yorùbá English but láàárín ẹ̀ we literally have 500 different languages ló wà nínú Nàìjíríà wà ní sáìdì bíbá òwúlélẹ̀ mo kí yín bàbá wa ìyá mi ọlọ́pẹ́jẹ wọ́n ní akójúmọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń jí láàárọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín ni ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ àkọ́kọ́ lọ ṣe coffee and tea ṣé ó make sense ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí this is what is paining some of us now mo sì fẹ́ mú country kan sí because ẹ mọ̀ pé àìtí ló 1 million wa tán ní Kánò ẹ sọ pé Kóìkì kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ti dárúkọ ìlú mẹ́ta Vatican 800,000 San Marino 33,000 Monaco 36,000 ó dà ẹja kàtúwà mi mo fẹ́ kó pé 1 million inú ti bí mi mo ní mo gbà àkílódé ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ wo Liechtenstein àbí ṣé mo pronounce dáadáa population làwọn yẹn 39,000 nà mí lẹ́gbàá ní ìyá mi kan ní mo sọ Catalonia ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ Kóìkì ṣó ń gbàgbé ṣó ò rí kọ́mẹ́ǹtì mi ni nínú 1 million a ti yọ ìlú 4 nínú Kánò nìkan ni mo ń sọ yìí o nínú 1 million àìtí lo 1 million yẹn pé bí akituri wine Vatican ó ní 825,000 ni wọ́n ó yá ẹ̀yin tẹ́mọ̀ mass ẹ máa bá add it together Monaco ó ní 36,000 gbogbo figure tó kù 600 yẹn ẹja àfihàn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ìyá mi ọlọ́pẹ́ mú kí yín mà ó di ìlú méjì ẹ máa add ẹ̀yin tẹ́mọ̀ mass further mass bí ṣe ń pè é yẹ kẹ́ ti máa calculate San Marino 33,000 Lithuania ìyẹn spell as Lie ibo làwọn yẹn wà wọ́n ní is a German speaking 25 kilometre principality between Austria and New Zealand. It is known for its medieval castle, Alpine landscape and villages. Kánò náà máa ní gbogbo eléyìí tàbá ní ká lọ wo history Kánò ó fẹ́ ju tàwọn ìlú yìí lọ now Kánò wà lọ ń rìpọ́tà rẹ̀ fún ìlú tó pé a ti yọ ìlú 4 so far Kánò kò tí ó mì wọ́n ẹ mọ̀ pé tó bá nìkan ó mì nǹkan ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn Yorùbá ní nǹkan mì nǹkan we have a Kánò as a state in Nigeria but already I have been able to prove this morning that Kánò has 4 countries inside it. Can you see why we are saying that Kánò itself can divide into 4 countries? I am not talking about Southwest now. We are using Kánò as our, Kimatabo, Yoruba and English. And many Nigerians are now expecting Kánò to work. How do you get Kánò to work when Kánò itself sank 4 countries in the European Union as a member state? Do you know that those states now, if Tabagbe Omo Kánò lọ síbẹ̀, I don't know whether they want to go there because their culture will be different. I don't think a Kánò citizen would love to go and live with them because we know that their culture is different. Not that we might not have 1 or 2, Hausa people there. That is if we still even have any Hausa anyway left. This is why some of us are saying that, are we sure that we can ever be united in Nigeria? Are we sure that we can work together? I've given 4 countries. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá wo Catalonia. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ wo Andorra. Ká wá lọ wo Catalonia because they keep telling me, Kóìkì o mention Catalonia, mo ti bínú sẹ́, màá kúrò lórí ètò ẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ wo Catalonia. Kí ló dé tí kò? Okay. Andorra. I can spell it. Andorra. Andorra náà tẹ̀ ní military tí wọn. So táwa náà bá dá dúró. Andorra, country in Europe. Kábíyèsí ẹ̀. Andorra. 79,000 àwọn yẹn tẹ ìgbérí sókè díẹ̀ àwọn yẹn ti bímọ dáadáa. Now ẹ jẹ́ ká wo Catalonia. Ṣé Catalonia is a country ni? Mo rò pé àwọn yẹn wọ́n ṣì ń jà fún independent wọn but again kí ni gbogbo population wọn ẹ jẹ́ ká wo population because àwọn ṣì ń jà wọ̀ tí gba full independent but ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ wo population wọn láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ though they are part of the government 7.5 million àwọn yẹn pọ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ má yẹ ká lọ àwọn yẹn pọ̀ díẹ̀ ọ pọ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká stick sáwọn tá a ti múlẹ̀ nǹkan. So now my question to the average Nigerians àti sọ Monaco bí ẹ ṣe wọlé ní sà àti sọ Monaco àti sọ ẹ jẹ́ kí n rephrase gbogbo àwọn country tá a ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan. So I'm going to start again quickly. We start with the big one, which is Vatican. So Vatican has 825,000 in population. Andorra has 79,000. Monaco has 36,000. Saint Marino has 33,000. Lithuania has 39,000. These are countries that are member states of European Union. I am now asking the average Hausa man today, why are you reporting yourself to EU? Because you are bigger than them. You have the landmass. You have the intellectual people. But today, according to another news headline says, from Kano, that if they are denied their mandate, they will ignite crisis, but they are also petition Nigeria to the EU, and ECOWAS. Mukiyawa Tomilola Agnes. Mukiyawa Abe Williams. Mukibugo and grandma as well, and grandfather as well. My name is Olami Koike. My job is just to educate and let Nigerians decide whether truly and truly we still want to remain one, or we need to start talking about the future of who we are as indigenous people. That will not create hatred among us. It will just make us to flourish better. And if you're saying that we're going to flourish better, I am not sure whether we will flourish under this administration. Ogundimo ayo mo excited nibe, my brother. Onunugmo, you okay? I couldn't watch your program yesterday, but I did share it anyway. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. And if there's any other media that is underneath, I can't see you, I say good morning. The question again is, Ogundimo ayo, my brother, Moni Kanu, Olon report from EU. Our lowo EU. Kini meaning EU, European Union. We now realize that 4 countries, Kano can sank them. You know, Tabano ma swallow one, they be pay, they feel one. Well, that's fine. If you say Tinubu is the best, well, so far at least he can speak better than Buhari, but I can't say anything. Even Amnesty International says we have not seen anything good about Tinubu when it comes to human rights. You don't have to agree with me. Neither do I need to agree with you. If you are on a military depot, the barawaja, kuku morawari tele. The bade rimi, the tobo miloju. If not, the tobo miloju. So we are not here to, to argue. If you say Tinubu is the best, oh yes, I will say Tinubu is the best because angbon koton so Buhari malani nagode agbon kokonrara, and we saw what has happened. But the question I'm saying this morning is not about Tinubu. I'm talking about Kano because Kano might ignite the problem. Because if Kano, a political party, is saying that we have written petition to EU, I want the EU. Some of you don't even know that you can also control a state. Because if Tabalowo, okay, let me put it this way. Google can give me that answer quickly. The youngest prime minister in EU, in European countries. Let's just find something. Europe's leaders are younger and less experienced. Who is the youngest prime minister of a country? No, the EU no more need. I need the EU. Who are the youngest leader in EU? Okay, in the European movement in Ireland. Let's see if this one gives us something. So some of Nigerians that are thinking that that be Tinubu is because that is the lie they've told you. If Nigeria was working, you don't need any godfatherism. It's only Nigeria. I don't know whether other African countries. In this country, listen, Mole contest as an independent person. We move MP, move senator equivalent in Nigeria. Inje ayeyen in Nigeria. Inje ale contest as an independent because these are what makes country to work when the rule of law applies. But in Nigeria today, we know Mokiyami first ban. But today, the reason why we are struggling, Somebody said, I watched the lawmaker yesterday and I said nothing but corrupt officials deceiving us. But people say they're not deceiving us. Okay, Ayo Gooding was telling me that the Minister of Finland is the youngest in European country. Thank you so much for that update. Now, let me quickly give you some kind of headline from a website called European Movement Island, because it might be a reference so that you can go back and watch or read. Who is the youngest MEP ever elected? Meet Kira. Maria Peter Assen was elected as a member of European Parliament, just 21 years old. Obìnrin ni, kò need láti bá ẹnì kankan sùn, wọn ò ní láti tọwọ́ bọ̀ nídìí, kò need anybody to be able to get there. All she needs to do is to prove that she can become that MEP. She's 21 years old. Kira Peter Assen made history in the European Parliament election in May as being the youngest ever person elected to the institution, taking a seat for the Socialist People's Party in Danish left wing. There are some people that are left wing. Àwọn left wing yẹn, àwọn yàtọ̀ sí the right wing. So mo ń bèèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin Nigerians láàárọ̀ ẹ̀, many Nigerians, do you think that a 21 years old can become a senator in Nigeria? It's just a question. I don't know. Do you think that we can have a 21 years old representing us at the African Union? These are why some of us are concerned for the future of that country. Ìyá mi comfort ni, wow, wonderful. Wọ́n wá fi bá mi break gbogbo ìlú yẹn down, ẹ ṣé gan ni. I didn't see that earlier. Ìyá mi comfort sọ pé Mr. Koiki gbogbo ìlú tó sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn, the total population, okay, orí back of the 18 wò wá, wọ́n ní these 5 countries are less than 2 million. 187,825. The whole country that we talked about earlier, and this country ni Kano ló ń report fún. So Kano State is reporting itself to a countries of less than 200,000. Does it make sense? I don't know. You might tell me it makes sense. Ṣebí Africa lawa. Do you think that they are better off us? Do you think that this 21-year-old girl is better off? Because these are the king. Awatani after Yoruba nation. People will come and ask me, Koiki ta ló máa jẹ leader? And I'm thinking, what about you? Are you not thinking that you can be our leader? You want to be a leader, we can push you forward. Don't look at yourself down. Look at it from the point that if these 21 years old, okay, let's look at the next person. Who is the youngest European commissioner? Meet Virgin Jews, Sinkevicius. At just 29 years old, the new European Commissioner for Environmental, Ocean and Fishery, Virgin Jews, is the youngest ever commissioner, while in 2016, he will be the first government minister in Lithuania. Mélòó ni wọ́n ní Lithuania? Ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré wò. The whole of population of Lithuania. So when some of you are saying you don't want Yoruba nation, but you want Nigeria where you will never be given an opportunity, the question we're asking is, what is wrong with us? Lithuania is 2.8 million. Kódà Kano ṣì jù wọ́n lọ. You can take 2 of Lithuania out of Kano. So Kano is reporting itself to Lithuania, a country of less than 2.8 million as of 2021. Something is not right somewhere. Moke Dennis, most of them did not that the European Union is their eyes is not too well. Dimeji is 34 years old when he became the House of Reps member in Ogun State, in the central Nigeria. Okay, that's fine. 34 years old. That's a good one. That's a good one. But I'm asking again, why would Kano report itself to the European Union for election that took place in a country worth 200 million people? So we are reporting ourselves. Tell me, the whole of European Union is 400 million. So we are half of that. Yet we cannot decide things for ourselves because there's no regulation. There's no institution. The institution is not respected. If the institution is respected, they will respect us around the world. if we have the system that is working, the Inspector General of Police literally called the military Boko Haram. That is a big word. Once again, let's go into the full topic because I'm going to end the program very soon as well. NMPP petition European Union. I've given you a full background of European Union and you've got a better understanding so that you start asking the question, would you ever be given that opportunity without any kind of support from the gladiator? Because these individuals that we mentioned earlier, okay, I've got the, and who is the youngest sitting prime minister in the world? Meet Sama Marin. Sama Marin, while at present she's the youngest sitting prime minister in the world. Sama Marin is 34 years old, first entered politics in 2012 when she was elected to her hometown city council, Tampere, in the south of Finland. In her 5 years, she gained reputation as the tough, straight-talking operator, aged 27 years old. A member of the Social Democratic Party. We already got the answer because Citizen Ewa was able to tell us that earlier. A member of the Social Democratic Party, she was elected to the constituency of Pikama in 2015. Following the re-election in 2019, she was appointed the Minister for Transport and Communication. She is now Finland's third female Prime Minister, having been approved by those in her Social Democratic Party, SDP. This follows former Prime Minister Anita Rinne's resignation over his handling of ongoing dispute with postal workers further. Now, let's go back to the full conversation. Are we going to see the ignite of Nigeria from Kano? It's just a question. I don't know. But the Kano NMPP says if care is not taken, we will ignite crisis in the northern part of Nigeria. The New Nigerian People's Party has petitioned the European Union, the British Commission, the Canadian Embassy, and the Economic Community of West African States, among others, over the appeal court judgment that upheld the sacking of Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State. Do you think that this governor, probably maybe they don't want Nigeria to ignite into crisis, they'll just let it go and let it pass? You can ask yourself that question. Do you think so? Mukiyawa Mudupe Alao. And shout out to every one of you on the thread. We'll be ending very, very soon. And maybe we'll come back later. We will see. While presenting a petition at the European Union Secretariat, the National Auditor of the NMPP, Ladipo Johnson, on behalf of the acting national chairman Abba Ali, alleged that moves were being made to truncate the will of the majority of Kano electorate who voted for Yusuf on the March 18, 2023. He said the deliberately hijack of the people's mandate in Kano will no doubt have consequences politically, economically, socially, especially in the light of its humanitarian repercussions. From the look of things, their clandestine moves to truncate the will of the vast majority of the people of Kano State concerning the governor they freely and willingly elected on March 18, 2023, Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf. We call on President Bola Tinubu, world leaders, former Nigerian presidents, head of state, head of international organizations, head of local and international agencies, and all promoters of democracy to counsel the Nigerian judiciary, especially the Supreme Court, in respect of the Kano State governorship seat. What they are saying is that we don't care whatever is going to happen. We will attack, we will create crisis, and we will ignite problem in the north that will fall into other African countries. This is what they're saying. So maybe some of us should start monitoring what is going to happen in Kano State. Would Bola Tinubu or the judiciary bow down for their threat? Imagine if the Igbos give this kind of threat. What do you think would have happened today? Imagine if Yoruba gives this kind of threat. Kile Rukuma Shele. Ayogundi will say Nigeria is just a mess. Imagine if the Southwest, the Southeast, issue this kind of threat. We've never issued any of this threat, yet Igbo's house was attacked. He was almost killed. Nnamdi Kanu has not issued this kind of threat, yet he was almost killed in 2017. Dogs, individuals were killed. He escaped until Buhari and Osibajo kidnapped and renditioned him back to Nigeria. He will be returning back to court in the next 15 days. And we hope this time around, the Supreme Court will let him go. Princess Adebimpe Gramani Awoniyi, people would have been arrested. Ayogundimu say the double standard. So you can tell now that, so this is a political party giving this threat that I'm reading is in circulation. I don't know whether Tinubu government have responded to this, or they are concerned that should we not temper the situation, Kanu will explode, and that means Walori platform, Princess Awoni, the platform is going to shut down because it is actually telling me, so sorry, the other thread, because we still have a few more minutes before we finish, it's saying 7 minutes, it's going to go down in just about a few minutes. So I might have to stop it before it goes down itself. So what I'm trying to explain is that, like Ayo Gudumi says, do we now say that some part of the country can say whatever they want? So while I'm saying self-determination, I haven't called for arms struggle. All I'm saying is that we want to break away from Nigeria. Do you know that they are running after us like they are problem sile? Remember, some of you say, I wanted to create problem. What about this one now? What do we say to that? I don't know. Ayo Gudumi say double standard. So we call on President Bola Tinubu, I've read that already. As we head towards this next level of adjudication, I don't know when they're going to court again, but I'll be monitoring that, and we will probably find out, because think about it, in Nigeria, the news travels fast, especially on the social media. As we head towards this level of adjudication, which of course is the final, there is palatable tension in Kano. Do you think that they are now putting a threat to the new administration? Ṣé Bola Tinubu ma accept the threat yẹn, or we just say, dánwò ló bí yọkẹrẹ, tẹ́ bá try any mess, èmi ni mo wà lórí ìjọba, kò ṣe Buhari, á dì pẹ̀lú yín. What do you think is going to happen? Remember that Buhari dealt with us. Ṣé Tinubu náà máa deal pẹ̀lú wọn ní north? The other way around. It's an interesting time to be alive. Because Buhari was dealing with us. Àwọn tiwa náà ló ń lò. Á lo àwọn Yorùbá kó lọ fi deal pẹ̀lú wa. Ṣé Tinubu náà máa lo àwọn north tó jẹ́ security wọn? If they make any attempt to destabilize this my government that I've just taken over, I will go after every one of you. I don't know. We wait and see. Dinik says the problem of Nigeria will come from the north to divide very soon. If you truly ask me my opinion, I will say whatever is going to just make it go, I am happy. It's as simple as that. So I look forward. I pray that the Supreme Court keeps this government, the Supreme Court still remove this engineer, and I want to see what they're going to do. And I want to see how Tinubu will react. Whether I am Jagaban of Yoruba land, you will not truncate this my government at this time. Jasper Tinubu will not. He's too ambitious. So Tinubu will just let go. Wow. So Tinubu will just let go. Just like that. Really? Interesting time ahead. We're almost done in the next few minutes. So they are saying that the city atmosphere is enveloped in anger. While the Southwest is complaining about the terrorist killings, are we not in anger? But we are keeping our anger all the time. We are retaining it so that it doesn't explode. The same thing is happening in the South. Okay, according to this, Jagaban go deal with them. I love that one. Don't try nonsense or you're not. Jagaban go deal with you. According to this, Jagaban, I can tell from his comment in the last few days or in the last few hours. Jasper, he will start talking and making peace moves. Everybody about Jagabanje. Baba Yama said in my prayers that misunderstanding will lead to the gbasgbos. Kini meaning gbasgbos? My mom has told me just leave that for now. But Akorede says, look, APC will not tolerate any nonsense. NNPP, you lost out. Whatever you want to do, Try that mess. We have a Yoruba in the government. We have a Yoruba that has security. We go deal with you. Only can't you see that IPOB has gone silent? I can't see that. It's a lie. Akorede, don't come and tell me that. IPOB has not gone silent. So don't come and give us that fabu. In tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Southeast, military ò lè sọ síta. Àṣírí mo gé fún ẹ yẹn. We can agree on some things. I will not agree with you on everything. So don't come and tell me IPOB has gone silent. What do you mean by that? IPOB has gone silent. Ni wọ́n ń dárúkọ Simon Ekpa lójoojúmọ́ nínú Senate yìí. Abeg, má máa mú yẹn wá fún mi. Má mú yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀mí báyìí o. You know, I tolerate every comment because this one will be military platform. But má mú yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀ pé IPOB has gone silent. Kí ló mọ̀ pé IPOB has gone silent? Tí wọ́n bá tó bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sí Southeast níjọ́ Monday. Èmi ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò report fún mi láti bẹ̀ pé Mr. Koiki ó dán mi wò mo dẹ̀ wà ní Southeast. Go there go lọ sí ìjọba ó rẹ́rìn. Travel to Southeast on Monday. When international community embassy wọ́n ti fi alert pé wọ́n bí anybody ò dá nínú member ṣe rántí pé wọ́n pa àwọn American embassy staff kan ní Southeast. So ẹ má wá síbi ìwẹ̀kẹ́ wá fún wa ní múlẹ̀ o. So o lè sọ pé they play mi náà ní they play. But we can agree and disagree. Èmi ò lẹ́mọ Tinubu ní bíbá. You are right to be here. But like I said, for me, I don't see Tinubu doing anything. Òun náà kọ́ máa gbádùn ayé ẹ̀ ní ó dẹ̀ máa lọ. I will go if you send transport money. I will do video. Lówó ló ń san yẹn. Kí ló dé? Ìwọ big boy. Ìwọ ọmọ Tinubu ò lówó. Can you imagine? Ìwọ tó ń support Tinubu ní kí n send owó ṣe irọ́ ló pa. Màá fún ẹ lówó àlọ́jókòó síbi kan bí àwọn ti Yorùbá nation. Mr. Koiki mi lélẹ́yìí o mo ti fẹ́ débẹ̀. Pín wọ́n tún máa tẹ ọ́nù mọ́tò. Àdàbà fọwọ́ mi jẹ pẹpẹ soup. Ìrọ̀ ìbò send. Tí wọ́n bá ti débẹ̀ ṣe fídíò. Tó bá ti wà níbẹ̀ tí mo confirm. I'll send owó ṣe níbẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ tó máa fi padà. Níjọ́ Monday ni o, má lọ níjọ́ Tuesday o. Wà á dẹ̀ máa ṣe fídíò tó máa fi débẹ̀ fún mi ni o. So that's just a joke aside. So anyway, we gotta go now because I just want to go and take a short break. We might come back probably just for another knockoff. Kí lẹ feel? So that we just take a short break. So mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. So for me, tẹ́ bá béèrè pé Mr. Koiki kí ni view tẹ lórí ti Kánò yẹn? Mo kí àwọn Táíwò Kíkẹ́, mo kí ìyàwó Mofolúwakẹ́, ìyàwó Bólúwa ti fẹ́ àbíbẹ́ mo kí sister mi wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀wà. Ẹni tí bàdárò kẹ́ má fi ṣe bínú. Whatever is going to happen in Kano, I pray that the judgment still goes back to APC. Because Akorede ọmọ APC lòun ó ní wọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní Mr. Koiki Jagaban ló wà lórí oyè wọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ NNPP yẹn ń dán wọ́n ń pariwo ní ṣe bí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe ń pariwo Yorùbá nation yẹn tí Buhari lé gbogbo ìtẹ̀ sádànù tó fi pa Ìgbòho tí gbogbo yín ya dànù wọ́n ní ìbẹ́ náà ń gbọ́n sá lọ ni sọ àfẹ́wò tí Tinubu máa ṣe àdúrà tèmi ni pé APC ní kó retain governorship election Kano mo fẹ́ wo bí àwọn NNPP náà ń dẹnu ni ká tẹ̀ wo bí wọ́n ń dẹnu ni káwọn tó máa ṣe fún Tinubu. Nigeria is sitting on a ticking time bomb. Ọlọ́run àwa pẹ̀lú wa àní kó nú ẹ̀ but tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àtẹ̀mí àtẹ̀yìn àtàwátàwà níta kò sẹ́ni tó ní affect o. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Yoruba nation is here to stay. God bless Yoruba nation. Orògbé máa ní God bless Nigeria lọ́dún wo bí aláyé àtijọ́. Kódà tí bá ṣì sọ gan ṣe máa repeat ẹ̀ pé kò tó bẹ́ẹ̀. God kankan lè bless Nigeria. God bless the Yoruba territory. God bless Arewa territory. God bless Igbo territory, South. Don't come and tell me about the minority. They can have their own country. As long as they are even less than 30,000. At a country metajade that are not even up to 40,000. So the minority, you now have right to set up your own nation. God bless us all. Have a very good afternoon. My name is Olami Koiki. Thank you so much. Bye for now.